Alrighty. Good evening, everyone. Meteorologist James Stickler here in the Storm Team 4 Weather Center tracking our latest potential system, or our latest system for tomorrow, bringing heavy rainfall and extreme damaging winds. So we are keeping an eye on that for you. Going to be doing a hour by hour timeline for the for the potential for some thunderstorms later in the afternoon. Also, we'll be showing you the extreme wind gusts for later on this afternoon. So let's get into the forecast. So this is 5 a.m. when the rain starts to get into New Hampshire. Lighter rain until we get to around 7 a.m. 7:30 is when we could be seeing the heaviest of rain in the morning hours. 8 a.m. get into some yellows and oranges, so that's heavier downpours, potentially some embedded thunder with this system, and then that will start to get a little bit strengthened for areas in Cheshire County and Hillsborough County, as well as Rockingham County, do have that threat. So we are keeping an eye on that for you as well. Let's go back. So this is going to be 11 a.m. First round of rain gets out of here for noon when we start to lighten up. And then once we get into 1 o'clock, the second round of rain comes, and heaviest for central Vermont and central New Hampshire this time. And then once we get into 3-4 o'clock is when we get into the southern New Hampshire threat for some thunderstorms with this as well. Heavier rainfall for this outline area here. So again, Cheshire County, Rockingham, Cheshire, Hillsborough, and Rockingham counties again is that major threat for some thunderstorms with this system. This is gonna be 4 or 5 o'clock, and then it's all out of here by 7, 8 o'clock for southern New Hampshire, and then by 10 o'clock it is out. The system is offshore, pretty much for the entirety of New England by around 10 o'clock tomorrow afternoon. So again, going to be very strong winds and heavy rainfall throughout the day for most of New England. Here's going to be a look at future wind gusts. So I'm going to go back to 7 a.m. for wind. So it looks like 40 mile an hour wind gusts for southern New Hampshire around 7 a.m. So it'll be waking up to extreme winds, extreme wind gusts for the morning hours. As we get into 8 and 9 a.m. is when when the stronger of the wind gusts start to arrive. 11 a.m., 70 mile an hour wind gusts potentially, 76 offshore. So waves are going to be a big impact as well. Could be seeing some high wave action for the coastlines of Maine, New Hampshire, and Massachusetts. Again, coastal flooding is a possibility as the winds are going to be exceeding 75 miles an hour in most areas. And then once we get into 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock, and 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock and 5 o'clock is going to be our highest chance for some wind, for extreme wind. 3 o'clock for southern New Hampshire. I'm going to zoom in here. So around 65 mile an hour winds for southernmost areas in Hillsborough County. So Cheshire, so Milford, Greenville, Nashua is when we could be seeing 3-4 o'clock is when we could be seeing that 65 to 70 mile an hour winds. So again, please pay attention to the high wind warnings and wind advisories, as well as high wind watches being issued for portions of the coastlines of Maine and pretty much all of New Hampshire, all of Maine. Do have some flood watches for for central New Hampshire near Berlin and Conway area. Do have a flood watch as you guys are going to be seeing that 1 to 2 inches of rain mixing in with that snow melt. That's what's going to cause the rivers and lakes to possibly flood as the rain will continue to fall pretty much throughout the entire day. Winds finally start to die down around 7 o'clock. Do still have, I would say, some 45 mile an hour wind gusts potentially around 7, 8 o'clock. Then once we get into 11 p.m. and once we get into Tuesday is when we could be seeing the winds somewhat starting to die down. Still gusting over 30 miles an hour in some area. And then we start getting back up into 36, possibly even some 40-mile-an-hour wind gusts for north central New Hampshire. Is again still getting into tomorrow morning, still seeing that 40-mile-an-hour wind gust potential. So not out of the question for tomorrow that we could be seeing some extreme wind for most of New Hampshire, and then wind gusts finally start to diminish by 5 o'clock, 8 o'clock, and only around 15-mile-an-hour wind gusts. So the models are showing some weakening for the winds, but it's still going to be a major wind event, so we are going to be keeping an eye on that for you as well. Stay tuned for more live updates throughout tomorrow as well. We will be doing live updates as needed throughout the afternoon.